this evening. Let me know what you were doing and what you're up to this evening. I've just come back from the gym, so I'm a little bit worse for wear as it was, and it's like every single time does my head absolutely in. SAF Tom says, hit the likes and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, my friend. I hope you're doing extremely well. Palace F2BL, legend of the chat. My brother was good chilling in Manchester right now. Legend of the chat, as always, my friend. And I hope you guys are all doing extremely well this evening, whatever you are doing. If this is your first time to the channel, I'm JB. This is the United Devil channel. We do things slightly differently here. If you're going to get into the chat, I'll always say this: be respectful to the community more than anything else. More than be respectful to me, be respectful to this community. Be respectful to yourself. Be respectful to me. Otherwise, the ban hammer just comes out and you get banned. I hate doing it. I really, really hate doing it. We don't mind banter. Banter is different. We get some amazing fans on here from all different clubs. Amazing fans. Tonight's show is slightly different in terms of I've come up with a topic. We're going to talk about, obviously, the most important thing, the game on the weekend. But we don't mind going off on a bit of a tangent on these evening shows because that's what this is about. I'm not a dictator of this chat. My word isn't the end of the story. It's just like yours. It's just an opinion. It's not the end of the conversation. The reason why this show takes so long is because I do read out your chats, because I respect your opinion, and this is how we do it on here. So I do read out your chats, get your opinions in, and let's go for it. So Nicaruzzi, I hope you're doing well, my friend, legend of the chat evening, and I hope you're doing extremely well. Thomas says, Forest fan here. Welcome, my friend. I recognise your name. Are you ready for Saturday's game? I think we are. I've got some of the stats, and we can go through some of those stats in the game as well. Give me your opinions, Thomas. I'd love to know what you think about the game. I'd love to know what you think about. I'm going to try and turn this down. What do you think about your chances? I'd love to know what you think about your chances in this game. This screen, sorry guys, the screen's doing my head absolutely in. I'd love to know what you think about your chances in the game. Let me know. Thomas says working man is a sucker. You're probably right. You're probably right, Thomas. I don't disagree with you. But this is not that. This is not that sort of show. Palace has just got off the train, mate. I hope you're doing extremely well. Be safe, Manchester. I don't know whether you've got off at Manchester Piccadilly. If you have, be careful of the walk down. It can be a little bit treacherous at this time of night. And obviously, guys, don't forget to favourite and subscribe. Even if you just give us a like, it really does help the video out. United Strand haircut incoming. Fingers crossed. Nicaroo says, I'm sitting nervous about the game against Forest, to be honest. I'll give you some of those stats as well. Will you put either Lemens or Bienda in goal on Saturday? Look, Lemens is our number one goalkeeper. Unless Lemens is injured, Bienda gets nowhere near this team. So Thomas, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for you, but Lemens is number one. If Lemens starts against Liverpool, which he did, there's absolutely no way that Bienda gets back in goal. So I think Lemens goes in goal. For me, absolutely no way. Thomas says Sonny was right. Sharma says, what are you talking about? So we're talking about United, the preview, United against City. Sorry, United, as a City fan there. Forest against City at the City Ground on Saturday. I'm legit buzzing after 3-0. Look, I would as well. Palace are a good team. They're absolutely in some fantastic form. So, are you a City fan? No, I'm a United fan. Thomas says, how are we feeling about Martin's return from injury? I'll come on to that. First of all, Fortnite's Chill says, do you own Bitcoin? No, I do not own Bitcoin. Not for me. Thomas, I kind of had a little bit of a rant, Thomas, and this is not about you, my friend. So when you make comment. And tonight, this is your show. I try not to comment too much tonight because this is your opinions. I don't want to kind of get in the way of that. I had a little bit of a moan about that. Tomu, mate, I can't even read that name, but Tomu says, do you think Arsenal's better than United? Yes. Simple answer. Right now, yes. Simple answer is right now, yes. We've won 3 games. I'm not going to get carried away with that. I'm going to get behind this team, and hopefully we can start to do some good stuff. But Arsenal are better. Arsenal right now are probably the most complete team in the Premier League. So right now, Arsenal are a better team. There's no way of hiding that. The Liverpool manager is getting stick at the moment. Martin, it is making me laugh. Now, obviously, Wayne, who comes on here, legend of a guy on here. I feel sorry for Wayne, but it is quite funny now that Liverpool manager is getting some stick. The men's has been phenomenal. Wouldn't drop him unless he lost one of his limbs. Arsenal next at the Emirates. I hope we can do a job after a good performance against them. Palace, I hope so, in the EFL Cup. So, Thomas, let me come back on this one, right? So, I'm going to have a little bit of not a moan up, and it's not a moan at you, Thomas. I think it's a very, very good question, and this was one of the points from the press conference. So I'll start off with the conference, and then we can talk about that. You see what it says, as a Man United fan, Arsenal will win the league. Yep, and I demand we win the league, Wesley, every single season, right? Not because I'm a fool, just because that's what I demand to keep standards up. I think Arsenal will win the league this year. I think if Arsenal don't win it this year, they will bottle it. Kelvin says, Jesus loves you, bro. Thank you, Kelvin. I hope so. I do my best in life. So I really hope he does. So yeah, and I think that Liverpool will win the league. And of everybody that can win the league, do I want Liverpool to go and win the league? 100% not. Do I want City to win the league? No. So for me, then the best of the rest, Arsenal. For me, so I've got no problem with Arsenal winning the league. If they do win the league, then they deserve to win it, and I think they're more of a complete team. Richard says Arsenal cursed to always finish second. Look, for once I hope they do go on and win the league. It goes against me, right? Because I do want to win the league. But if it's not us, absolutely no problem with Arsenal. So let's go to what Thomas says. So I'm going to go to one of the points that Amorim basically said, and this is doing the rounds. Right? So I don't know what you guys have seen this year, tonight. The clickbait out there, Martinez is back. Martinez is back. That's all I've fucking seen since the conference. Martinez is back. Headlines. Martinez is back, right? I didn't want to lead with that, right? I agree with you, Mr. Ibrahim. Cunha is looking sharp. Cunha is a fantastic player. That's all I've seen today. Clickbait after clickbait. The Butcher's back. He's back with no context whatsoever. Martinez isn't back. So Martinez is back training with the first team, right? Which I'm really, really pleased with, right? To say that Martinez is back is a fucking stretch, right? And this is all I've seen from the big channels, some from medium channels. Martinez is back. He's not back, right? Martinez is training with the first team. Amorim has even said, and the funny thing that made me laugh about this as well, one of the biggest channels said, oh, he's back. And even when they quoted what Martinez, what Amorim said about him, he's back with the first team, but the program that he's on is different. They're bringing him back slowly. And Amorim has even basically said, look, he's back training, but he's not ready for the match. And he's basically building up slowly. So Amorim is not going to be back until after the international break. Now, do I suspect he might be on the bench? Might be on the bench for Spurs? Possibly. But it's a fucking stretch. And this is, I don't know what's going on with channels. I don't know what is happening with all this clickbait, right? Is that Martinez is not back. I need to stress this. Martinez is not back. Unless it's a big ploy by Amorim. Based on what Amorim said today, Martinez is not back. He's training. Training with the first team is very, very different from being back. So he's training, but the program he's on is different, and he's going to come back really, really slowly. So he's not close to being back at all. So do not buy into that crap, because he is not back just yet. But I'm really, really pleased that he's back with the first team. I think he can have an impact in different ways. I hope he comes back. I would love him to be back, but to say that he's back right now is a stretch. So he's not back. He's not going to be back, I don't think, until the international break, until after that. And even then, I think he's going to be eased in. So I don't think we're going to see him. I think we'll see him maybe named in the squad and on the bench. But Martinez, the Butcher, is not back just yet. So don't be fooled. Let's go through some of these chats. Do you think Amorim can win the Premier League for United? Misra, look, let's not get carried away. Again, more clickbait, and I moaned about this from the United stand. Look, I'm not one for calling people out, right? Because they're bigger than me. But when I see shit like, can we win the league? I just find that I just can't deal with it, right? We've won 3 games on the bounce. Let's win 4 games. Let's win 5 games, 6 games, right? Right now, the Premier League is not even on my agenda. It's not even on my thought. It doesn't mean we can't do it. I'm not suggesting that. All I'm doing right now is I don't want to put pressure on this team. I don't want to put pressure on this fan base. I don't want to give this fan base hope that that sort of thing can happen. I'm focusing on each game, and I think until we get consistency, if we get to Christmas, let's focus on getting a 4th win, right? Let's focus on getting a guy a haircut. Let's focus on getting the guy who's got his haircut cut, right? Focus. And then let's try and get to Christmas and try and be touching of top 4. Then once you're in that top 4 race, February comes around, who knows? But right now, to even suggest to me that we're in a race, I think is ridiculous. Misra, I think, look, then if we go again next season and we say buy somebody like Stiller and we buy some more players, then you can get yourself maybe into a title race. Maybe you don't win it, but maybe you can get yourself in it, and maybe we fall away. But then you get yourself in and amongst, that 1, 2, 3, 4 again and again and again. So it's gonna take us a while. And I promise you, I'm not calling out your opinion, but I just think this rhetoric and this clickbait shit about winning the league right now, I think we need to focus on the next game. Fergie used to do the same. So I think as a winning mentality, why look too far ahead? I think we need to focus on each game. Forest is my world right now. I don't care about Spurs. Forest is the game for me. But again, get your opinions in on that. Martinez may be back training, but we will be fine without him. They may not win, but they'll probably finish a little decently. Do you think Liverpool will be safe this season? Yeah. When we say safe, look, Liverpool are not coming down. Liverpool are going to be perfectly fine. I think Liverpool finishing in the Champions League. Once they click, it depends. They may not. They may have a really, really bad season. But Liverpool will be absolutely fine. Yes, he's back in training with the first team. However, he still hasn't even finished a training session yet. It's just clickbait. Dino, exactly. Thanks, mate. United should be looking for 3 points on Saturday, but Sean Dyche could have Forest pumped. Mbemba is active. Ahmed is tracking back. Nikarutsu, legend. Yeah, I'm all good. A penny for every time I hear the word back. What shoe is over your left shoulder? That is it's called a Tensha Cheetah 2.0. Jack Bridges says, I'll be happy with 6th. Keeper has given us confidence at the back. It's it's realistic for 6th. I think. Look, Jack, I'm with you, right, Jack? Right now, I am in and around 8th. Right, I was 10th, and now I'm every win we get, right? Every win we get, every game we continue, the more wins we get, I will change my mind, right? But until I see consistency, I can't go above an 8. I can't go above an 8 because otherwise we're going to be that team. It doesn't mean I'm not going to support this team. Doesn't mean I don't think we can do it. I just, until we get consistency, I think until we get to Christmas time, then that is where we're going to see. Let's win a game. Let's win the 4th game. Let's get into some more form, and then we can have that conversation. That guy needs a haircut. What a stunt to dedicate to the cause. But I still think he can win the title for you. Look, Mizra, tonight is not me dismissing your views, right? I don't dismiss people. Like, I'm not going to dismiss your view. I might come in and like have an opinion, but it's not dismissing your view, mate. If that's what you think, I hope so. I hope you're right. I hope I'm totally wrong, and I hope you're spot on. Because if you're spot on, mate, it means that we won the league, and I will hold my hands up, and then. But the only thing I will say is I've been Amorim in from even when we lost to Grimsby, even in the darkest days. I've supported this manager, so me more than anybody. I want him to win the league. Thoughts on Celtic JCFC? Look, Celtic are going through a period of transition. I don't know enough about what's going on at the club at the moment. In terms of like the politics, I think O'Neill will steady the ship. There's talk of Ange Postecoglou going back there as well. I'm of the opinion, Celtic are a historic giant of a club. They're too big not to come back. I just think there's, from the little I understand, I believe it's a boardroom issue between like the manager, between the boardroom, between the players. So I don't know the politics, but I think Celtic will be okay. But it almost seems to me that Celtic need to take a step back and look at what they're doing as a club. If you were the manager of the team currently, what would you do differently? Nothing. And I tell you for why I wouldn't do anything is because we're winning games. Right now, the problem with this team is the moment you change something is when problems happen. So I think what I would do now, and there are players in this team that I don't like. I'm not going to mention them because I'm trying not to bring a downer on this team. I wouldn't do anything to this team. I would leave it as it is and just see what we can do. Let's just see what we can do with these players. Come back to me maybe after this game, depending on what happens again. But come back to me. I think right now, and it's not a cop-out, I just wouldn't do anything different to this team right now because we've won 3 games on the bounce. And I think I would leave it as it is for now. The only tweak that I would possibly make is with Luke Shaw. But, right now, that's the only thing that I would do. Probably Delo as well, probably put Mazraoui in. But in terms of a team, I'd probably leave it. Diffbat says the table hasn't started taking shape yet. Exactly, my friend. And that's a fantastic comment. That is exactly it. The table hasn't even started taking shape yet. Completely agree with you. Kali says, United opens for the health legend. Nicarucci says, we can't get carried away. Yes, we're on a streak and riding a high, but we want consistency. Nicarucci, mate, you always speak sense, legend. Blue Moon Tiger, here we go. Who do you think gets sacked first, Liverpool boss or United? Look, neither. I think Slot has got a lot of money in the bank. I think Slot would have to lose the next 4, 5, 6 games, possibly. But right now, neither. I'm not predicting a manager to get sacked. I'm not about that. I don't think any manager should lose their job. They do, but I'm not going to predict that. I don't want to see anybody get sacked, but I don't think either. And I don't need to answer the question because I think with the run of form, I think it's obvious who would go. But look, is Amorim's banked some credit? We just got to hope and continue that he does that. JB, is Scott your boyfriend? Clearly, yes. Clearly, yes. Scott is, yes. Clearly. I love it. I love it. No, he's not my boyfriend. Hilarious. Goal for Dad 91. Good evening. Need to start fast at Forest. Keep this momentum going. Forest will be organised and disciplined under Dyche. You need to unsettle them early. Fantastic comment. I agree with you completely. Opus for the health. Shesko adds a new dimension to the attack with his size. Hi, Liverpool fan here. Mystic Red, welcome, my friend. I hope you're doing extremely well. Commiserations. Be nice to Mystic Red. Yeah, mate. I hope you're doing really well. Look, I don't revel, and I mean this as much as it's banter. I don't revel in people's losses. Unless people give me banter back, I don't revel in that sort of stuff. It's football is one of those things, isn't it? It can turn it extremely quickly. So my philosophy is I worry about my own house, because the moment I start worrying about other people's houses, and that's when it can turn. So Mystic Red, I hope you're doing extremely well. Kawaku says hi, hello my friend. Stephen Moore on Saturday, who's going to win, Chelsea or Spurs? I'm hoping Chelsea, because I want Spurs to get a smash in, because then it means it's good for us. Liverpool suck apparently. United will win. Harry says hi. Keep Ange away from my beloved Celtic. He left the winner, so no point coming back. Let's go. Let's grow. I subscribe. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Glory, glory. Man, United don't mention Shaw, JB. I'm not going to mention him. I'm not going to. Have you seen the news? No way. Let me check because 100%. 100% we'll have to mention that because otherwise they have to give respect there. Let me check. Nothing on Alan Hansen, mate. Unless you're just trying to disrupt the show. I'm not. Nothing at the moment, mate. I will check it, but hopefully you're not going to disrupt the show. No, can't see anything on that just yet. But I've not seen the news. RIP Alan Hansen. I've got to check it now. I've got to check it because that sort of stuff needs to be recognised. Let me look. Sorry, guys. I've just got to look at this. Talking about Alan Hansen, and I think that well, there's nothing coming out about it just yet. So tell me where you've got the news. There's nothing coming out about Alan Hansen just yet. And if it is true, then I'll absolutely bring him into the show because absolute legend. So who will win? I will come on to that. We'll come on to that. Hello, amigo. Sir Jackie, hope you're doing extremely well. Finley says on and off the pitch, legend. You poking the bear again. I'm not getting into the S word tonight. Tommy Caravan says hi from Ireland. Hello, Tommy. In your opinion, who will win, United or Forest? I I like to think that we'd win, and we will come into that. I do think that we'll win, and there's a reason for that as well, is that we'll look through the stats. Dina says, may never. Tommy Caravan, look directly into the camera. Look directly into the camera quickly. Okay. The only chance of Forest to win a cup is if you do. Oh, I'm not getting into that. Darren C says, up the Chelsea. So I'm taking it up the Chelsea, my friend. Welcome here. Golf Desk says, can we talk about the pure joy we have had with Lamens just doing the basics and actually catching the ball? Never been so happy to see him. We can talk about that in the preview as well. So we'll get I'll go through the chat. We'll get through the press conference, and then we'll talk about the game, and we'll talk about the men's. If we beat Forest, the momentum will be truly with us. With no European Cup this season, it could turn out to be a blessing in disguise. Arizona says a sure win for United the next game. JB, do we need some form of European football next year? Dino, I think we do. I think we do for many, many reasons. I think we need European football next season, primarily for players. I think we need it for money. I think we need it for income. I think we need it to play players, mate. I think if we... One of the things that we're seeing this year, in my humble opinion, is without more football, you can't bring players through. So what we're seeing as a consequence of not having European football is we can't bring Leon through. We can't bring Kone through. Chido's not getting his chance. All these young players are not going to get their chance. So hopefully, and as Golfer Dad says, we need it for FFP. We need games. We need home games. So I think European football for many games is a must. Just posted a video. It's blown up. Palace. I will check it out, mate. I will check it out. Palace, mate. Absolute legend. I will check that out. Wayne, legend of the chat. I think Arnslot will go through at the moment. He has the backing of the owners. Wayne, legend of the chat. Liverpool fan. Wayne, mate. What is ridiculous? That I'll say about this, and like how you guys impact me, is that every time Liverpool lose, I always think about Wayne. And this is why I am respectful in the chat. We've got people like Wayne who comes into the chat, and I know Wayne doesn't necessarily care, but I think it's really important. To be fair and even-handed. So let's get into the press conference stuff. I will go through some of the points, and then we can go through some of the stats in Forest, and we can talk about that. Nick Rucci said, United versus Lone comeback is a game I'll never forget. Incredible. It was an incredible game. Absolutely amazing. Spendog, would you have thought you would be back in the massive investment only to sack him? Exactly. That's a very, very good point. So let's go for Amorim. So Amorim on the major points, and again, the press conference. There is one thing from the press conference I think was an interesting one, which I think tells you everything when it comes to Mainu, and we can talk about that. So Amorim basically said, Martinez has returned to the first team, but emphasised he's not ready for this weekend's match. He's slowly. My friend is slot out. Oh God, it's all going to start now, isn't it? So Martinez is not back, as we've said at the top of the show. All this clickbait crap about Martinez being back. Martinez is not back. He's not going to be back at least until after the international break, and he, as we've said on here, he's not even completed a training session yet. He's on a different one to everybody else. So Martinez is not back. He got asked about his 1 year. Dino said Liverpool are losing their heads. Has Martinez been missed though? Like really missed. And this is the thing. And again, as we're talking about that, I think that's a very good point. Has he been missed? I don't know if Martinez what is Martin? So my question would be: is Martinez? I send my condolences as a British citizen. I will apologise for anyone you had to come in contact with a Celtic supporter. As Martinez been missed. So the question for me, I think, when I think about him is would Martinez have made a difference last season? Would he have been the difference from finishing 15th to maybe finishing 10th? My answer is no. We've not had him for the best part of 2 years. I like Martinez. My worry is Martinez is done. I fingers crossed he's not, but you can't have those sorts of injuries at 27 and not be a different player. So my opinion right now is I want to see him come back. Let's see what we get. If we get Martinez to any sort of consistency, I'd sell him. I would sell him. If Martinez comes back and he has a full year under his belt and he's back to like how he was, keep him, fine. I've got no issue with that. But as I said in pre-season many months ago now, I worry about him. So for me, if Martinez comes back and he's not the guy, I think he needs to go. So there's a question mark. I think he will absolutely bring something into this team, but there's a question mark. So I think people who think that Lissandro's going to come in and he's going to be this amazing player again, he might be, and I really hope you're right. But what you need to realise, he's been out for 2 years. He's had 2 significant injuries. So let's see. I think put a pin in it, and I think he's very look, I wonder. Let's see. Let's see if Martinez can come back, and I really hope he can. I really like the player. I love the spirit. I just really hope that this player can come back. But I don't know if he's going to be washed. So let's just see. Guys, get into your chats, get into the like, favourite, and subscribe. This channel is amazing. Just get in there. Let me know your thoughts. Just give us a like, and it really does help the channel out. Greetings from South Africa. Greetings, my friend. I hope you're doing extremely well this evening. Arizona says, I noticed the change in Amorim's confidence during his part 1 conference. He's full of big tips, and that kind of mind is settled and energy towards a sure win. Lissandro will come good again. I hope so, my friend. I understand your feeling that you're thinking one game at a time. I'm telling you, that would be unstoppable and probably turn down the table and win. Look, I have to be logical. That's who I am as a person, but I love the confidence. Absolutely love it. Up to every single year. Doesn't mean that we will. Doesn't mean that. It keeps standards, and I love that. I love the fact that you want to win the league. It holds us accountable. I love it. Your stream's lagging. Sorry, buddy. So, Jackie, there's not a lot that I can do. Let me know how bad it is. The weather is pretty bad. Apologies. Let me know if it's really bad. Thing is, people saying that when Martinez comes back, we were sorted. No doubt, he's talented, but the injuries are mounting up now. He could come back. I'm not the same player. Can you give me a shout? So Dolly Legend, can you give me a shout out? I hope you're doing extremely well. Like, favorite, and subscribe. Exactly. I think it's the weather. Was it tonight? Let's see. Let me know if that's improved it or not. I will try my best. Most of the fans want Alonso brought in to replace Slot. Whenever you're, it's not like, keep me informed. Let me know if it's still lagging. YouTube is doing me tonight. The league is that bad. United are 6th mental. Possible. Look, respect the opinion. Are we that bad? You give your opinions in on that. Keep skipping and freezing. Is it still doing it? Honestly, I don't know. Honestly, this YouTube keeps doing me dirty. I don't know why. Let's try that. Let's try this. Oh, YouTube keeps doing me dirty. It does freeze a bit, but I have to close it and I'll open it again. Keep letting me know in the chat if it's still bad. YouTube is not being kind to me tonight. Yeah, I will continue to try my best. So let me know if it's still crap, and I will continue with the show. So Amorim also talking about facing Sean Dyche. Thanks, Dino. Just let me know. Weather always plays the internet up. I have a bit of trouble as well. Fingers crossed it can settle down a bit. Fibre, I don't care what people say about fibre. Fibre is a load of bollocks. Just keep me in the loops. Scott is in the house. Mr. Banhammer is in the house. Seems okay. Cool. Okay, fine. So we are back. We are back. Out still. Fingers crossed. So Amorim, he was asked about his 1 year anniversary, basically reflecting on that, calling it a journey of ups and downs, emphasizing his belief in basically the methods. Now, again, Amorim, I think he's a very confident guy. I think he believes in what he's doing, and I think he's right. I think he was right for him to say that. I think he's absolutely right for him to come back and him to basically say that he's, if Amorim does what I think he can under the methods that he does, then I'm in full support. He was asked again about upcoming absences with players like Ahmad and Mbermo likely off to the AFCON. Ahmad said it's an opportunity for other players to step up. I like that. And I think that is again, that's Amorim talking extremely well. Arizona says, in my own opinion, the top 5 is possible. Statistically, if Amorim wins more 3 games in a row, the title can be the theatre of dreams. Dixon says, United will have a food spout, but they will turn... Look, Dixon, who knows? Who knows? Right now, I mean, we are... I'm a realist, right? Right now, my opinion is take each game as it comes. I love the energy that comes from this fan base at times, but we have to be, in my opinion, cautious. It's Arsenal season, but United do well to get into the top 4. We need a new DM, a right winger, and Lewandowski. Interesting opinions. Scott says, I'm good, brother. How are you? The comments are not coming up. I don't know what's going on. Absolutely not. So, Amorim also, in terms of strategic and tactical, basically said he stressed the difference between home and away performances. We're not going to have the same space away. We must adapt our approach and style, which I do agree with. On the mentality, he asked his players to control the environment and treat every tackle and moment seriously, especially given the away ground intensity. And I think that's absolutely pretty much spot on. I think this is where the battle is going to be lost, and we will get into the stats as well, is that when we go to that ground, Sean Dyche is going to be very, very organised. Do I think that Sean Dyche... is this a game too soon? I'm not quite sure what Sean Dyche is expecting. He did make comments. he made comments. Amorim did come back and have a little bit of a pop out, and basically Sean Dyche was alluding that he could manage this side. Amorim got a little bit spiky about that comment, and I don't blame him for getting spiky about that comment. But he respects Dyche. It's going to be interesting when we go through these stats. Some quotes he said, it's really hard. They're not the same with wins. I'm really focused on performance. We have to improve on set pieces, and we try it in an indoor stadium. We spend a lot of time. We need to think about these things. So we're not very good on set pieces. Amorim has clearly been looking at that as well. Forest do like to pump balls into the box. Forest, I think, are first for pumping balls into the box as well, by the way. So there is that. Martin says, is there no stories around the takeover again? There's nothing, mate. It's all gone quiet. It's all gone quiet. Who's going to be your top 6, Wayne? My top 6 right now, I'm going to be really, really boring. I'm going to go Arsenal. I'm going to go City. I'm going to go Arsenal. I'm going to go City. I'm going to go Chelsea. I'm going to go Liverpool. I'm going to go. It's hard, you know. I'm going to go Bournemouth 6th, and I want United to finish 5th. If you're asking me right now, I wonder if Bournemouth can have I'd love to see a Bournemouth or a Sunderland in there, but I think top 6 right now is going to be Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and one of Bournemouth, United, Sunderland. I want one of those teams. I want one of those from Bournemouth, Sunderland to get into the top 6. I do. Let's have a little look at what we're saying. Who's going to be a top 6? Dyche is more of a defensive football, long balls, which is the best for us to win. Long balls right now that are in vogue. Nick says Amorim is just what we need, is someone that sees the bigger picture and believes to bring players who are complacent. How would you suggest we play against Forest at their ground? They'll keep low block, and we were there to see how well this United side does. So I think we need to start fast. I think what we need to do is, I think that Forest are very, very good at getting balls into the box. Forest are very, very good at progressive runs. They've got players in Gibbs White, in Doy, and they've got those sorts of players to run at us. We need to stop that. I think we need to start fast again. I think there's going to be limited space. And I think what we need to do, and I think this game hangs on mentality. We need to win first ball, second ball. We need to be at them. We need to absolutely press them, and we need to blow them away. I think if we can get the early 2 goals, then it opens them up. I think the longer we go into the game, they struggle with goals. They're very, very good at getting the balls into the box. They're very, very good at that, but they struggle with finishing off a chance. So I think what we do is we go at them. I think we just go at them, and I think that we then need to win first, second balls. Do I think we match them with long balls and then try and win that second ball? Difficult. But I think that we just need to play smart. What's your ethnicity? The light might be doing something to me. I'm just British, mate. Nothing special about me, my friend. Godfrey Dad says set pieces have been our biggest downfall for the last 2 years. Nick Caruso, Amorim is just what? Yeah. What about Tottenham? I'm not even thinking about Spurs right now. We'll think about Spurs next week. I'm not even thinking about Spurs. Nick Caruso says, here's an odd question. In your opinion, the 3 teams to be relegated this season in the Premier League? So I think West Ham. I think West Ham. I think Wolves. Don't actually know what the Premier League table is down there. I think I've got a sneaky suspicion that somebody like Leeds might just drop down the league as well. I think West Ham. I think West Ham's time is up. I do. I think Wolves as well. I think Leeds might just drop down as well. Yeah, I think Villa have turned a corner. Newcastle are fine. Liverpool are fine. It's interesting. I mean, I'll ask you guys the question as well. Like, who do you guys think are going to go back down again this season? You know, I think West Ham going back down unless they can turn it around. I think they're gone. I think Wolves probably will go down, and then I think a team at the moment is doing well. I think will absolutely just drop down. I think Leeds again, but it's so difficult. He says, I've been saying it for a while. 6th place is where I want us to finish. If we do, I think it's a very good achievement from last season. I agree. Tusha says opinion on Mainu. Right. I'll sum it up. Mainu, potentially good player. Amorim doesn't like him. The fact that Casemiro and Casemiro is older, and the fact that Mainu can't dislodge Casemiro, I think tells you everything that you need to know. Mainu is young. Mainu is inconsistent. I think Mainu needs game time. I think Mainu could be a fantastic player. I don't know. Amorim, as I'm learning, is very, very good at judging players. I don't want to see Mainu go. But if he deems that Mainu needs to go because he's not good enough, do we just bite the bullet? I'd like to see Mainu do well, but I don't know. It's hard to tell when he doesn't have a run of games. I suspect Mainu's going to leave. I suspect Mainu could go in the next window as long as we get a replacement. I think it's very, very hard. There's no doubt that there's a talented player there, but my concern is he cannot oust Casemiro. Casemiro has been our best defensive midfielder, or one of our best midfielders, and the fact that Mainu cannot dislodge him worries me. Arizona says Arsenal set pieces injuries are always the case. Arsenal can't keep the tempo for long. Forest, Leeds, and Brentford. Arsenal lose Rice or Saka, they're done. What's your ethnicity? Hey JB, hey Tulip, hoping for new manager bounce. Hoping for no new manager bounce. I agree. Wolves, West Ham, and Burnley. Wolves, Sunderland, and West Ham are my thoughts. Gemma says W, win. I hope so. So one of the only other things I wanted to focus on was what Amorim said about Fernandes. We're in control of the situation. So he was asked about Bruno Fernandes leaving, right? He says, we're in control of the situation, and I feel Bruno is really happy here, especially because he understands what we want to do. He's a top player. He's going nowhere because I've already told him. Make of that what you will. Zidane would be a great Liverpool manager because the players are there. Wayne, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think Zidane, I think Liverpool, with the players that they've got, I think Zidane would be perfect. West Ham, Wolves, and Forest will be relegated. That's my pick. Cool. So Bruno apparently is here to stay. I don't know if that's going to be the case next season, but apparently Bruno is here to stay. Control Delete says that Zidane will go to Liverpool. I mean, he can't speak English. Can you imagine him trying to understand the cop? Nico says losing Fernandes without replacement is like having a car without an engine. Agree with you. Agree completely. Bruno right now is not going to go anywhere. I think Stiller would probably be the replacement for Fernandes. But nothing's going to happen. Like, and I think for me, the one that I can see, leaving is Mainu. But the only way he leaves is if you get a replacement for him. So I think Fernandes, I think anything can happen there. James Chamboy says, what do you think about what Jason Wilcox said at the training ground today? Look, I'm never a fan of management talking and that sort of stuff. Look, Wilcox is going to say what he's going to say, right? I just, I'm gonna look. People say stuff all of the time, right? There were players interviewed before the start of the season in pre-season, basically that we can win the league. I'm not going to mention the player's name because I'll go off on one. Look, I wouldn't put any credence on anybody that's talking. This is a guy, Wilcox, who basically at a dinner a couple of weeks ago basically said that there was when he came into the club, he exposed this club accidentally and basically said there is no link between the owners, the management, the team. So yeah, Wilcox is Wilcox. What image did Paint Dino get in his tummy tickled by Amorim? Yeah, with his back leg. Who's a good boy, Bruno? Yeah. Amorim. I don't think that's healthy. I wonder if Amorim has got pajamas with Fernandes on, and I reckon in his house he's got like a Fernandes cup. He's got Fernandes posters. He's got a signed copy. I reckon he picks up Fernandes's post. There's definitely a special connection there between them two. And it's Amorim to Bruno, who is my Portuguese Magnifico. And I know. I just, for me, they eat strawberry. I reckon they're like link arms, and then they feed each other like strawberries, and then they ride a tandem together, and they do all that, like lovey-dovey stuff. Not for me, but there we go. So right, let's go on to the game. Let's talk about game. Let's talk about what we think about the game, and what we think. So I've got some of the stats here. So Forest stats. This is Forest. Okay, so let's go for it. With robes on. But Dino, when they're eating like the strawberries and like they've got the robes on, they're like here's out so that they can see like each other's they're like hairy chest. Grim. The El Clasico just backfired. Barcelona and Yamal. Biggest question arises: who will keep Yamal? I'm not really bothered, mate. Look, I mean, I'm not really bothered about most other teams. I think this is my opinion, right, on La Liga, right, and especially on them, right. It's a very, very sheltered league. Very, very sheltered league, in my opinion. I think they are insulated from the rest of the world. The fact that they can have Lamine Yamal at 17. It's always surprised me that there's not many of those Barcelona, Real Madrid players who want to come and test themselves in the Premier League. And it's always quite funny when Premier League players go to the Spanish League and always seem to do it extremely well. So I'm of this opinion that whilst they have good teams, I think they're almost sheltered themselves as an island away from other leagues, because I think people get caught up in the players. It's no coincidence that not many of them come to the Premier League, but then when Premier League players go to La Liga, they do extremely well. Holding hands, skipping Randy Carrington. Will there be any selection surprises? No, Dino. No. Everybody's fit other than Martinez and Maguire. I think is still not really fit. And we'll go through the stats as well in a second. How will you rate Fernandes' performances 2020? Look, Fernandes has been a great player. There's no doubt in my mind. The goals, the assists. But I just think that his time has come. I think for the last 18 months, I think he's been very, very up and down. Yes, he gets goals. Yes, he gets assists. I think they mask a lot of what he hasn't done. And it masks a lot of him and his personality. The eye test doesn't lie. The eye test doesn't lie. Right? The eye test doesn't lie. He's been our best player. It is as simple as that. He's been our best player. But I think the time is now to evolve away from Fernandes. We love United as Real Madrid fans. Hello Madrid. Welcome, my friend. Samson Kenway says, hi, hey. I hope you're having a lovely stream. Multiple wins in a row. How long do you think this splendid run will last? Hello, my friend. Hopefully the whole season. I'd love to go the whole season and win games. So we are going to lose again. That's a fact. I'm hoping that we can at least win or draw the next. I think after Spurs, we've got an easier next 4 games. I'm hoping that we can go on and win. Out the next 6, we can win 4, 5, and draw 1, win 4. We need to just stop. I think if we can stop the losses and probably win more than we draw, then I think this run can continue. Daniel Brain says only 2 teams in Spain. Bruno and Amorim signing. Karaoke, you can make me whole again. No, I think their karaoke song would be "Do You Think I'm Sexy?" Nicarusio. I think that's their song. Bruno and Amorim playing Romeo and Juliet. Wherefore art thou, Bruno? We knew we needed big game players like De Ligt and Burma Cunha to move away from Bruno. Daniel, I agree with you completely. Do you ever suggest we'll try Cunha on the right wing with a Burma go for AFCON? They're not really wingers. I mean, that's basically like how I see it. They're not really wingers. They're more. They do split number 10s, but I don't think they go really as wide as that. That's why we've got the wing backs. I think anything's possible. We've got Xerxes, we've got Cunha, we've got Bruno Fernandes that can come in there. We've got Mason Mount that can play in there as well. So we've got options. And Burmo is going to the AFCON. We should have enough. I think so. Nicholas says, let's see what Halloween costumes they rock up in. Batman and Robin. I think they go as Gomez and Morticia from the Addams family. Do you think the youngsters in the squad need to step up? We've seen good and excellent performances from the old timers like Bruno, Casemiro, Mason Mount. Who do you think need to step up? It's hard. It's hard. When we say youngsters, so I think that Yoro has been brilliant. I don't know what happened there. I think Ahmad has been excellent. I think Ahmad has been fantastic. I think De Ligt has been phenomenal. So I think he's young. I would actually reverse it. And I'd actually say, in my opinion, there are 2 players in this squad that need to step up, but they can't. Is a Delay and Luke Shaw. I actually think the young players in this squad have been doing extremely well. Shesko, I think, has been great. Ahmad's been great. De Ligt's been great. Yoro's been great. The only the 2 weak points, and maybe you could argue Dorgu as well. I think Dorgu's been inconsistent because he's young. It's hard. It's hard. I don't disagree with your opinion. I'm not going to disrespect your opinion. I think it's slightly different. I think that we have players in this side that are doing the job. But I'm opposite. I think that our players that we have, particularly Ahmad has been immense. I think De Ligt has been fantastic. I think Yoro has been great as well. Shesko's been good. 4 in a row is possible. I agree. Cunha can fit on the right wing. Shalom. Thank you for answering my question. Bruno has been the best. He can switch from the whole role. The great player. Play styles like butter. More like Pinky in the brain. No, their karaoke song, It Must Be Love. Do you think Delo should be dropped in our next match? Arizona. He's the only one that I would. But he's part of a winning team. So I think I'd probably play him just because we're winning. But if you ask me, the 2 I would swap, if any, would be Luke Shaw and a Delo on that side. And I'd bring in Heaven and I'd bring in Mazraoui. No, Bruno, Amorim and Delo is Ed, and Eddie. Love it. Rumours circling Xerxes wanted on loan. Do you think there's a place for Xerxes in Amorim's plans? Nikarutsu, I do, because Mbeumo's going to go. Mbeumo's going to go. This is what I think, right? Xerxes can't go at the moment because he's going to play as a second. He's going to be backup striker. So the only way, in my opinion, that Xerxes and Mainu go is if we bring in a midfielder on loan and we bring in a striker on loan. Because Mbeumo will go, that creates a gap. So Mainu will be given his chance. And if anything happens to Shesko, we don't have another striker. And we can't keep playing that false 9. So I think unless we get a striker on loan, Xerxes stays. I have questions. No. What about Liverpool versus Madrid facing each other on the 5th? Mate, they're 2 teams that I don't think are in form right now. I think that could be any score. Daniel says, I like Dorgu, but it's a specialist position. I really like him as well. He's a young guy. I really do. Valid, I cannot agree with you. No problem at all. Should we have kept Rasmus for backup? Jack, and again, I had that opinion as well, right? We can't have a 60-odd million pound player as a backup player, mate. We just can't do it. I like Xerxes. I really do. It just wasn't possible. I suggested it, and you have 2 young bucks fighting it out for that position. But whilst we play 1 striker, it's just not possible. I would have loved for him to have stayed, but no. I just don't think it works. I don't think it works for Rasmus. I don't think it works for Shesko. The value as well. I think we need to recoup money. If Rasmus cost us 20 million quid, of course, yeah. But I think the monetary value, and he was a main striker. So I think for him, I'm so pleased for him. I'm pleased for us in a way as well, because he needed to go. I'm happy with Shesko. I think Shesko is an upgrade. But I'm glad that Rasmus is doing well. If it wasn't for AFCON, then I would say yes, let him go. But I think we need to look for a striker. Dorgu just needs time. King says, I'm sorry because your channel name was the United Devil. Just got to ask. I was scared. No worries at all. They said this generation is of attacking midfielders. Do you think this is the real number 10 of United? Cunha, Bruno, Kobe, Xerxes. Kobe at the moment is not good enough. Xerxes, I don't know what Xerxes is. I think he's a different sort of number 10. Bruno is probably our best number 10. Cunha is a fantastic number 10. I think Bruno is probably our best 10. But Cunha as well. I mean, I think he's fantastic. We need Lukaku. Joshua is suited for Serie A and AC Milan. Showing interest. Do you think is best we sell him now? I would sell him. I would. If we're not going to use him, I would. But it depends. We need another striker because I think Xerxes is backup striker to Shesko. Would I sell him if we could get another striker? 100%. 100%. But I think right now, until we get that additional striker, if we do, I think he needs to stay. But I do agree that if we did that, I would let him go. Rasmus being out on loan might be the fight he needed. Seeing him start the service at United made me think he was rubbish. Amorim to Bruno, it must be love, but it's now Shesko. Oh God, Obi might need some time this season. He does, Jack, and sadly, mate, this is the consequence. This is the consequence of not having European football. This is the consequence of not being in cups. Is that we can't do it. There's another player, Bianchi, that I saw. He scored a hat-trick against Spurs in the under-21s. Looks like a great player. I'd love to give him some game time as well. But that's the ramifications of not being in cup competition. So let's get through these stats. Forest have played 9 games this season, 1 win, 2 draws, and they've lost 6. They're currently 18th in the table. They've scored 5 goals on average, 0.56 per game. Expected goals XG, 9.54, so they're underperforming in goals relative to the chances. So their expected goals are 9.54, and they've got half that at 0.56. Assists, 3 so far. Possession on average, 54.4% possession. 100 shots, 34 on target, which basically means, and this is really, really key, is that the volume is high, but the conversion is really, really bad. So that's one thing we need to consider here, is that Forest have a lot of shots, but their actual conversion rate is really, really low. So that may count against them. Best players-wise, so at the moment, Chris Wood is still their leading scorer, and I think he's fit, so he's their lead scorer. Jesus is listed as this season's top scorer for the club in all competitions. So what do they do well? Nicaragua says, got to head off, and fellow fans, early start and work tomorrow. Good night, my friend. Nicaragua legend, and we'll see you tomorrow. What do Forest do well? Well, they hold their possession reasonably well, 54%, which basically means that they're not just reactive clubs. P-Edit says, bum. P-Edit, are you telling me what you like? Are you telling me that you like bums? Fair enough. I'm not responding to that. I'll let the chat deal with you. They hold possession extremely well. Given their XG of 9.54 versus goals, they manage to create chances, but they can't finish. So, Scott, I love it. So basically, what are we facing? Right, we are facing a Forest team who keep possession well. They do have a volume of shots, but converting is their problem. So what we are going to face shots. We are going to face a team that will come at us. They do hold possession extremely, extremely well, but they struggle with converting their chances. United, I think defensively also Spurs will struggle as well. I think that unless Sean Dyche can turn this around, which Sean Dyche probably could, I think if Sean Dyche makes them more defensively sound and gives them a good platform, considering they've lost 6 out of 9, if Sean Dyche can give them that platform, and given the fact that they hold possession extremely well, given the fact of the volume of shots, you might find they might start winning games. Love from Bangladesh. Hello, my friend. I hope you're doing extremely well, my friend. Can't even... Brilliant. Mr. Banhammer is off. United key stats. Let's have a little look. So, we have... let's go through the stats. So, in 8 matches, we have scored 11 goals. 1.38 goals per game, or 15 in 9 is 1.67. Expected goals are 15.23 in 8 games, which I think is phenomenal. Expected goals and assists are 7.3. Possession-wise, 50.57. 135 shots in 9 matches. Shots on target, 47. So we definitely have more shots. Going for some of these chats, their defence is no longer solid to face United. Today's Gen football is more focused on midfield and lacking wing play. What can be difference between La Liga play style compared to the Premier League teams? I think La Liga, in terms of your top 3, top 4 teams, competitive wise, just as good as the Premier League. But where I think that Real Madrid, for example, would struggle is every single game playing against intensive teams. I think where the Premier League is better, I think the intensity is better. I think the overall quality of every team is better than La Liga. I think Madrid would struggle to be at their best every single game. I just think the Premier League is very, very competitive. Look, Madrid are a fantastic team. Madrid are equally as good as any of our top 4 teams, right? But I think where they would struggle is the consistency. I think that our teams can consistently, Palace. I don't know if Madrid would know what to do with Palace. I don't think they'd know at the moment what to do with a Sunderland. I think that's the difference. The main difference, I think, is probably the pace, the power, intensity of the Premier League. And I just don't think that Madrid, and I don't think the Spanish League has that consistency. So 135 shots in 9 games, 47 on target. So our expected goals has gone through the roof. 15 goals expected. Expected assists, 7 per games. Slightly low on possession. Best player, according to the stats, as always, Fernandes appears in the data to be the best player. De Ligt is one of our players to watch. I think De Ligt's defensive rate and his defensive for us this season has been fantastic. Mbeumo, I think, could be the difference in this game. I think Mbeumo, Cunha, I think when they drive at that Forest back 4, I think they will struggle. What we do well is we're very good at creating chances. Shots on target are pretty good. 135 shots, 47 on target, which we actively attack. The only thing I would say is that we do concede possession, but we are quite balanced. I think we concede possession, but I think we are quite balanced. Where we struggle, I think a low XG is high. I think that our finishing is better, but I think we've got to improve. So I think what we have to do is we have to start the game on those goals that we should have scored against Arsenal. The worry is that can we, whilst we're consistent, can we consistently do well? Arizona put in a mate, absolute legend, super in there, mate. Arizona, well, what can I say, mate? Appreciate it, my friend. Absolutely immense. Thank you for supporting the channel. You know, I'll always say this: it blows my mind when people support this channel. Absolutely appreciate it, my friend. So Arizona legend, and I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. So, and I think what this game is going to be about. I think ultimately what this game is going to be about is creation of chances. Forest off. I know they've lost a lot of games, but Forest are very, very good at creating the chances through their wide players. I think they've got some very, very good attacking players who pick up the ball, are easy to run with the ball, who will run with that ball. They create a lot of chances. They have a lot of shots. They actually have more possession than us, but it's their conversion. They can't convert their shots, so their conversion rate is not great. We concede possession a little bit, which we do, which we've seen in most games. At some point, we will concede possession. We will invite pressure. I think Forest at home will invite that. I think it's so important in this game that we dominate from the very start. I think we have to put away our chances, just as Forest struggle to put away their chances. Even though we create more goals, we have more shots, we have to put those away. And I think that's key. I think we need to come out really, really, really fast. And I think we need those early goals again. So I think if we can come out, we'll get an early goal or two, settle us down, be compact again, let Casemiro again be compact. I think that's his best position. And then probably will counter long balls, win the second ball again. This is why I think Šeško will absolutely start. So I think this is a fascinating game. I think this is a fascinating game. They do concede goals. That's a concern for them. Can Sean Dyche? This is the thing for me. Can Sean Dyche create a platform defensively and make them more solid at the back, but also can he then maintain the attacking attributes that they have, and then can he get them to convert the chances? I think Forest are gonna have their chances. I think Forest will come at us. I think they've got players who will run at us, but I think we'll have more than enough. Again, there's no easy game in this Premier League. I think we're going to have too much. I think the confidence is high. I think that as much as Forest will have the new manager bounce, I think Amorim is a bit annoyed from Sean Dyche's comments, even though he says he respects him. I'm hoping now that we can kind of bring the, we beat Liverpool at their ground. Can we now come into this game and can we translate that? So I think the confidence, I think our ability to create chances, I think our ability to create shots, our conversion rate is better. I think that we'll have too much. I think we'll have too much firepower. I think we'll have too much. My concerns are we will concede possession. Forest are very, very good at running at teams. They have their own shots. They have a really good high volume of shots. I think Chris Wood is a pest. I think, will Harry Maguire play? I think he's injured, but I wonder if he'll play for that aerial threat. So my concerns are we do concede chances with teams running at us. They'll get crosses into that box. They're very, very good at that. Set pieces. So I think that as long as we can organise well, get better at set pieces, corners, and cut those shots out that they do have at home, take our chances, I think that we win this. I think we win it 2-0. 2-1 again. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I think Forest are going to have their chances. It's whether or not Forest can put those chances away, and it's whether or not we can, as Dino says there, it's whether or not we can pick up that tempo and keep that tempo for the entire game. Scott says, what's happened to Emmy? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I do hope Emmy is okay. Stevie G back to Rangers. He done really well there. Tempo and physicality. Do you think Everton will make top 10? That's a good question. I think Everton have got the team to do it. I like what they've done. I like what they've bought. I like what Moyes is doing. I don't see a reason why not. Delict one-man defence. I'm a Madrid fan, but no La Liga team would be able to hold a good low block for longer than 30 minutes. Premier League teams have mastered the low block. What would you like to win? Who would you like? What would you like to win the Premier League or Champions League? I would like to win the Premier League. Right now, I think let's start small. I think if you win the Premier League, you get into the Champions League. If you win the Champions League, you don't necessarily win the Premier League. I would like to win the Premier League. Arizona legend. Thank you, my friend. Lenny Yoro. Sorry, guys. Lenny Yoro for Ballon d'Or. Create and finish our chances. We beat Forest 4-1. Dino says 3-1. Shesko brace, I feel's coming. We can cover up excess spaces when we attack or defend. They will press us with long balls and low blocks. Liverpool have always had trouble with their defence. Rumours were that Milinkovic-Savic can join United this season, but not happen. What about next season? Milinkovic-Savic is the midfield player and not the brother keeper. He's just signed a new contract, so he's not going anywhere. Daniel Brain says 2-1. I think I'm inclined to agree with you there. They will man mark in Burmo. Liam Mill says, hi, hello, my friend. Agree, and they will target Shaw. Don't get me started. They look. If I was Sean Dyche, if I was any club, I would target Luke Shaw. You've got me started now. No. If I was, look, I'm not going in on any of these players, right? If I was any manager from any team, I would target that side. Any Delo, wherever he's playing, I target him. Luke Shaw. Target Luke Shaw. I would get my fastest player and target Shaw because Shaw's got no pace. That's what I would do. Will Liverpool get relegated? No. No. Come on. Liverpool are not going to go down. They're just not going to. They're just not. Look, Liverpool won the league last season. It happens. It happens to teams. They go through transition. Liverpool needed to buy new players. They needed to recycle a team. They've changed the coach. Klopp. I'm sure if Klopp was here, I'm sure they'd be absolutely fine. They're just going through transition. Will United go for Belieber in the winter window? No. Not unless Brighton are willing to accept 40 million for him. No, he's not. Biggest flop of the season are Liverpool. I'm not getting into that. Alessandro or Luke, what is your pick? I would go for a bag of sand over Luke any day of the week. So I would go Alessandro. If Alessandro comes back to any sort of form, I pick him. It's not a show with a JB Shaw rant. Arizona, good night, my friend, and I hope you're extremely well. I'll see you tomorrow. Is that transfer fee is questionable? I think Newcastle played a blinder. Newcastle played an absolute blinder. 130 million for him. I mean, Jesus. I mean, that is a lot of money, isn't it? I think Newcastle ultimately got the best end of that deal. Walt Maid is a fantastic player, and Isaac is struggling right now. So, the only way, and this is not, I don't believe in this, but this is in my monetary opinion, unless Isaac and Wirtz win Liverpool the Premier League, then they're flops. Like, I can't stand that word, and I don't think they are. But when you pay that amount of money for something, I expect it to be great first time. So I think that Isaac needs to get fit, needs to come back. Wirtz needs a season. He's a young kid, but for that amount of money, it is. I'd be worried. Traveller Max says we've done that. Good. I can feel the pain United are suffering from last season, but they're on the way to stability, and you guys are winning. All good wishes from the Madrid side. Thank you, my friend, and good wishes back to you as well. Do you think buying Isaac and Ekitike together backfired? Isaac's not been fit. I'll give the benefit of the doubt. Ekitike is a great player. I just think that Isaac is not fit. I think they've got very fortunate in terms of Ekitike being good. I just think that Isaac is not is injured. Daniel Bray says if Liverpool sack their manager and don't find the right one, a few managers they spend big again, they will have spent £1 billion with no decent manager. I think Klopp might come back. Don't rule out Klopp coming back. I think Klopp could come back. Wayne says Trent Alexander-Arnold going. I think that's done part of the damage. Best young talent apart from Gerrard. They both signed for the club. Chief Ferb, Yo JB, hello my friend. Hope you're doing extremely well. Harris, hey, what's up? Hope you're doing extremely well, Harris, as well. Chief, nice to hear from you, my friend Harris, as well. Isaac, not the man at Liverpool. I had Gakpo over Isaac. I was one of the things I was thinking about is I think Gakpo has been a brilliant player. I think he's been really, really good this season. I'd even argue Chiesa has been a really, really good player as well. I think Szoboszlai, he's normally good. Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Wirtz, I'm not sure if that's working. I think where Liverpool are struggling, I think Wayne can say on this, is that defence. I think Van Dijk, maybe he's starting to wane a bit. And I think they needed a centre-back. Kirkes is going to take a little bit of time. Frimpong, I think, is a bit injury-prone as well, so Robertson will steady the ship. I think when Alisson comes back, I think if Liverpool delve back in and get a centre-back, Liverpool are going to be fine. Imagine buying Isaac when you can get Malacia for free. Isaac's on for Liverpool with 0 pre-season. Wayne says we overpaid. I do agree. I think Wirtz would be better besides an actual DM. Wirtz will come good. I do agree with that. Did Forest peak with Nuno? Do you think Dyche can replicate the same? I don't think he can. I don't think he will. I think Marinakis sport it, to be quite blunt. I think Forest again are going through a bit of a transition. I think we'll win. I would be worried if Forest lose, which they will do, fingers crossed. If they lose big, I I worry about Forest. I like Forest. I worry about them. They are bottom of the league, or one of the teams there. It's very, very difficult to get out of that. It's very, very, very difficult to change the mindset. So if they lose again and again and again, it's going to be a tough road back. Chiesa's quality, I agree. Casemiro reminds an interesting bit, but I think he's proven more pivotal than Bruno in the system. Traveller Mac, where I think I partly agree with you. I think when we're open and we're starting a game, I think Casemiro in the pivot is shit. When we score and we go compact, I think that's when Casemiro is good. I think when we're more compact and he's more of a defender, he's more of a destroyer type, I think that's when he's good. When we're open and we're playing an open pivot because we've got to score a goal, that's when I think he's not great, because he's not fast. He's very, very good at being that destroyer, being that guy who basically sits in that between the halfway line and between our back three, and that's where I think he's best. Mo Salah will be leaving shortly. Has Xavi Simons lived up to the hype? Nope, I don't think he has. I wish Stevie G takes the job. That would be funny. If someone would be like, we can't say Stevie out, that's outrageous. Show some respect. If Salah to leave Liverpool, I hope they get the largest transfer fee from the Saudi League. How Liverpool will welcome Trent at Anfield. It's going to be a cauldron, I think. Bringing in Ange was a massive mistake at Forest. I think Ange might have set him back. I think what has set Ange back, or what has set Forest back with Ange, is being down there. I think being down. I think beating Porto is good. New manager bounce, beating them is a good thing. But I think when it comes to the league, this is where Forest might struggle, is because they're playing those 2 games a week. So we should be fresh. That's another reason why I think we should win, and we will win, is I think that we are fresher as well. So I think we have that in our locker as well. Dino says Liverpool will have the same issues City had in the next 2 years. Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson all will leave. Chief says they can't say much, like hypocrites pulled Isaac yet, so they better show some respect to Trent. Exactly. So, guys, I'm on that note. I am going to go. Another fantastic show. Sorry, apologies about the stream early doors. I don't know what's going on. YouTube is obviously not playing ball tonight. Not been great, so I can only apologise for that. Amazing show. As always, I do say all the time, I love these late shows. They are brilliant. We talk about something, and then you guys bring in your topics, and then we talk about that. Exactly. It's just another rabbit hole to fill. Which sacking do you think is likely going to happen next? I respect the question. I respect the opinion. I don't really like talking about managers being sacked. It just is not comfortable with me. Congratulations to you and Scott, and thank you. Me and Scott are very, very proud of it. If you don't know, me and Scott are expecting our first child together. It's great. That would then mean that Scott's got, I think, 17 kids. It means that I've got about 87 kids as well, but it's a first for me and Scott. So, we're quite pleased about that. I bet most of Liverpool fans would wish for Trent to be back. Big Sam Orange for Liverpool. Facts for Wayne. Look, we are busy boys. Look, I don't want predicting it. It's difficult because the problem, if I predict a sacking and then Amorim loses, the Knights are going to be out. So I think right now I'd vote. Look, I hope that no one else gets sacked now this season, right? But let's see. Let's see. So, guys, on that, I am going to answer what I do say, but I've not said this for a little while. I just haven't said it, but I do have to bring it back into the show. Is I love Scott. I love his Scott. I do. So, guys, what I do say this, I've said it for a while, is God, thank you for being here, guys. It is legendary. You know, you guys, the fact that you come here, you spend time with the channel, it means a lot. As I say in life, there's two things in life: you can't buy time, and you can't buy health. And the reason why I say that is because in previous streams we have spoken about different topics, important topics. You know, people have passed away, and we've spoken about that. And I fully appreciate that you guys can spend your time wherever you like, but you choose to spend the time here. You choose to spend time with me. You choose to spend time, Daddy JP. I love it. I love it, Scott. But you guys, you know, you interact, you spend time with each other. You're making this community, and it's really important for me to say, because you guys, you know, you make this channel the best. We're not the biggest, but we are the best. And you guys, you know, thank you to all the mods. You know, thank you to you guys. You are legends. Chief says, Daddy, exactly. Exactly. You must never forget that. Dina says, I've started a rabbit hole now. I really have, haven't I? What can I say? This is what we do here. It makes life happy, right, with banter. So, guys, look, again, I mean this, as always. I am his good boy. He treats me like well, look, you know, Scott, you know, you are a good boy, you know. I think we need to eat some strawberries together. I think we should get matching names on our PJs. Yeah, you know, I'm not mate, I'm just ridiculous people on here. But guys, legendary. I love this chat. He strokes his hair, but well, you can't stroke mine because mine's really thin. So there's there's just no point in that. So guys, thank you so much again. I love this chat. I love this community. You guys are legends. As always, I will be back tomorrow for another show, another rabbit hole. Yeah, you guys are absolutely amazing. Yeah, that stuff apparently does all sorts of stuff to you. So look, I'm happy. I'm 42 years old. I've got some hair. It's grey. My best days are behind me. So, you know, who cares? But no, guys, legendary guys. I will be back tomorrow. Have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much. And Daddy does still have it. I've got it, mate. I've got it in spades. Legendary Scott, I will tickle your chin later. But yeah, guys, legends. Oh my God. Dino, this is gonna escalate. I'm giving the last word to Dino, stroking his hair and nibbling his ears. Done. Pure amaze. Not seen you for a while. Legendary. Peace out, guys. See you on the next one. See you tomorrow. Take care.